Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to again to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. Today we're gonna call it a day, and for now on, I'm be calling my show Financial Fridays. Why? Because on Fridays I'm gonna talk financial. If anybody's on my live when they come in or whatever, um, as y'all can see, the stock market is taking a beating. Market opened up. Here we are, 9:30. Here we are at 10 o'clock, and it's on a downward swing. Not every, of course, but the vast majority of the stuff I'm seeing is actually on a downward swing. Usually, sometimes after the Feds announce interest rates, rather they're gonna pause whatever they're gonna do, you start to see these type of things. And when I see it, this is an opportunity for me to buy. So therefore, any and everything that I say today is not for anybody to do anything. This is just what I'm gonna do and what I might do, possibly do, thinking about doing whatever. I'm gonna put a few things in the chat that I'm looking at right now, which is stock codes or whatever that I'm looking at as we talk, whatever. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. Um, these are just stocks that I'm looking at today and possibly may up the game on them. Some of them I bought as soon as the market opened. Some of them I didn't. I'm still looking, watching, thinking, what am I going to do? What is, looking for things to drop, and it's dropping hard. Hey, just looking at one thing, like this one account that I'm looking at right now, Italy, literally in a matter of hours, probably dropped by $400 or $500. It went down. This account probably went down $500 within 15 within a half an hour. But again, it is what it is. I don't panic. I just do it. Yeah. Um, they do. I do have some position in it. Joyce, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. I do have a position in it already. I'm currently in the red. It's tapering right now. I didn't have a whole big position in there. Actually, I just bought a little bit of it the other day just to put it in my portfolio, and now I'm watching it dropping. So I'm definitely watching it closely. Tonight for me is a big dividend night, which the vast majority of companies that I have stock in pay out dividends. Tonight, which is the end of the month, is usually where I see the bigger amount of it start to pay out. So if that price holds there, I might up the game, depending on how the market closes Friday and what happens Monday when it opens back up. But if it's anywhere close to where it's at right now, I might end up purchasing some more. But let me see, what else am I looking at? But how you doing? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. CPT. Sorry about that, y'all. CPT. These are things that I'm looking at. Am I right? Yeah, CPT. Yeah, I get excited. That's why I was like, man, Joyce, I get excited when I see the stuff drop, and these are the moments. This is what I always say. I said, these are the moments where you got to be patient. You got to be one of those people that's disciplined with your money. Usually after the Feds announce what they're going to do with interest rates, sometimes you'll see these type of things happening. Not all the time, but a lot of times you do. And I had an expectation that it's either before or after they announce the interest rate, you're going to see a dip in the stock market. Um, Sometimes people, they don't like what the Fed said. There's a whole lot of reason playing around to that. None of it is all like straight 100% forward, but it is what it is. I These are the things I'm planning on up in my game, and some today, some hopefully Monday if it's the prices hold where they're at. It's always going. This the thing I always say is this: is that when it comes to investing, you have to exercise patience. There's always going to be a time to buy. It is. It's always. Rarely are you going to have more or less. You always going to have a time to buy. By far more than you're going to have a chance to sell. And patience is the game. And sometimes you have to exercise extreme patience. I never go in too hard, too fast, and with too much. Yeah, there's some stuff that I wish that I would have did that earlier. So, oh man, I could have went in and bought some of this, and I probably would have made out even better. But I don't even sweat it. And whatever I'm making, I'm making. I don't get into trying to drive myself through all of this craziness. But this is another one that I'm looking at, possibly may buy. How's everybody doing this on the chat that's in the live? And some of the stuff I've had for a little while now, and some of it I'm taking a beating on. But for my portfolio, I already knew that today was going to be one of the days that go down because a lot of the companies that I have they pay out dividends. So what ends up happening a lot of times is that when they start to take the money out for your dividends, you start to see the stock price go down. And like I said, these are not a suggestion for anybody to buy or sell or anything like that. I'm just showing y'all what I'm looking at. I'm putting them in the chat, what I might buy, what I possibly may buy. Everything that I'm putting in the chat today is definitely dividend stocks because this is what I'm looking at today because, man, the opportunities right now for me are actually endless. I did buy some stuff already. I had pre-buy positions already set to buy this morning once the market opened up, and they all pretty much took place. But these are the ones I'm looking at. Just clacking them in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. And it's quite a bit. Like today is actually quite a bit. Like I said, this is not a suggestion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling nobody what they should do. But here's the thing. Let's just say for sake of whatever, somebody decide, you know what, I'm going to buy everything that he said that he's putting in the chat and see what happens. They're willing to take the risk. They definitely going to be buying it cheaper than I paid for it. Meaning wherever the price is at currently is actually cheaper than when I originally bought it at because that's the only time I buy more stock. Up my positions is when I see myself in the red and in the red a lot. Like it all depends on how much, but yes, that's the only time that I buy. And I'm a risk taker, and that's why I tell people like, yes, investing comes with a risk, but life comes with everything in life does. You can either take the risk, try to possibly make some money, or you can just sit back and hope for the best. So far, for me personally, it's been blessed. It's been a blessing, and I'm extremely thankful, and I'm extremely grateful. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but and for those people that are actually in, man, it's so much. Like there's so much opportunity right now, and it's driving me nuts. And like I tell people, what I usually do is I don't try to go too fast. I just most of the time when I started out, I put $1 there first. That's always where I start, and then put it on total return because that's going to tell me rather the stock prices rather I'm in the red or in the green, and then I just keep adding every time I'm in the red. I really made it simple as you can get it. The way that I invest is so elementary. It ain't fun. It is not complicated what I do. It is not something like, you know, groundbreaking. It doesn't mean groundbreaking, and it's not groundbreaking, nothing like that. It's what I do. And I just stick to the same program that I've created for myself, and I don't deviate from it as much as I can help it. Sometimes I have, and usually I somewhat hit a point of, oh, I shouldn't have did that. But for the most part, I never deviate. I try not to deviate from what I do. But if you look at it in the chat, these are a lot. That's why I say it's a lot today. Today is a lot that I'm looking at, as far as investing wise, up in my game. Everyone that I put in chat, I have already had positions in, but they are in the red for me to some level. Doesn't mean I'm drastically in the red. It just at some level they're down for me, and that's what I do. I'll just put a little bit extra, put a little bit more, and I keep investing that way. What's up, a world away from here? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Congratulations again on getting over 700 subscribers. You're killing it right now on your YouTube page. If anybody's on this live, please go check out a world away from here. Man, my channel is rocking. You know, I mean, if you like good music, if you like listening to different music, please go over there. I have a playlist on my channel with a lot of her music on my channel that I listen to when I'm in here working and stuff like that, or just kind of chilling, laid back. She's doing a wonderful thing. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Let me see. What's up, Mark? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome back. Biggest regret was selling CW stock at $135. CW. What is CW? Let me see. I probably already have some of it, but CW. Curtis Wright? Ouch. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Oh, yeah, you mad. You really mad. You are really, really, really mad. Ouch. Yeah. Ouch. Whew. Man. I feel your pain, bro. I ain't even had nothing. What's up? What's up, Chopper? What's going on? What's going on? Listen, I feel your pain. I ain't even had none. I don't even have none. And I feel your pain. And that would have been a nice come up for somebody. Woo. That would have been if you was a person that invests. And when you said that you sold it at $135, now I just looked at that stock, and that sucker is at $600 and something dollars. So even if you have, let's say for the sake of conversation, one share, and I don't even know, Mark, you didn't even say where you purchased it at. You just said you sold it at $135. And that means that he missed out on another 600% return if he, let's say he bought it at $135. Woo! Ouch. Yeah. I know that feeling though. I've experienced that feeling many a times. Looking at something, I was like, man, that is, woo. Hey. Sorry to hear that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Mark. Man, I feel your pain, bro. That's. But you know what? In all honesty, you can't cry over spilt milk, man. If you bought it at 80 and you sold it at 135, it ain't about what you could have had. It's about what you did, and you make money. And you know what? Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it hurts. But I see your pain, man. I see your pain. Now I didn't I didn't sell it. I'm still holding on to it, but like even when I bought Robinhood stock and Hood stock, I'm still holding it And my average when I bought it at $13 and some change. It's still at about $100+, but at one point it was up to $150. So I'm still at about a 600% return. But again, this is the thing about investing is that yeah, you don't know what something is going to do. You got to kind of watch what the company's doing, watch what they do, watch their financial health. There's a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes you got to watch. Some stuff I watch, I got a lot. It's hard to watch all of this stuff. So I have to take the risk and trust that the company is doing the best that they could and run the business the best as they can. Some stuff I do go look into, but other things it's too much for me. I have money too many different places to keep track of everything. But man, I'm wearing that stock like as if I'm the one that sold it. Because at the end of the day, when you invest in the stock market and when you invest in different things, man, what you want, like me personally, I'm gonna say myself personally, when I talk about investing, when I see people or when I talk to other people about investing, my hope is that they make money and better their life financially. This is just financial. I hope that they make money and better their life financially. I mean, and that's why can't, in my opinion, I want people to win. And in this world, it takes money to survive. Like this, just the system that we were all born into. I ain't trying to change the system. I'm trying to benefit from it. Some people want to change it. They want to do it. I ain't trying to change it. I want to learn this system as much as I can. I don't want to change it. I want to benefit from it because it will take too long to change it, and I ain't gonna live that long. But it's faster for me to find out how it works and how I can benefit from them. That can I can accomplish that in 6 months to a year, as opposed to trying to change the system when I can't change it anyway because I'm just one person. So instead of trying to change it, I just find a way to benefit from it. And the stock market, in my opinion, is one way to benefit from the system. Not all the only way, but it's one way. Real estate, in my opinion, is a very good business to make money in. But the problem with Justin, what's going on? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. The problem that we run into with real estate is that lately, especially in places like city of Philadelphia, a lot of these Democratic politicians is killing that business for the average person. They think what they're doing is beneficial, and they think that this is what they tell the citizens that, oh, we're going after rich people and we're going after the landlords and stuff. They don't realize that a lot of these properties and a lot of this stuff that they're trying to do, the landlords don't make a lot of money. So the very people that you keep acting like you're going to help, you're actually hurting the people because most of these properties are owned by people that don't have a lot of money. They surviving and with real estate. And now here's the thing. But as much as I like real estate, the risk in real estate is this. If I get a piece of property that I got a mortgage on, let's say the mortgage, I'm using regular simple numbers. Let's just say the mortgage is $800 a month. You got a piece of property you purchase, you're gonna rent it out. You're getting $800 a month, right? I mean, your mortgage is $800. Let's say you decide I'm gonna rent that house out for $2,000 a month. We're gonna go with $2,000. So there's a $1,200 window between your mortgage, and the rent that you're collecting. You got $1,200 to work with. But here's what happens in that $1,200. This is why sometimes I'm not a big fan of real estate. As much as I was in it, this is the part that I hate. And this is why you don't buy property you don't never buy property at the market value. You find stuff that is extremely cheap and you buy that. And don't overwhelm yourself because it's hard to make money in real estate. I don't care what nobody say. When people tell you, oh, you can do all this, they don't know what they lying to you. They trying to sell you their program, their system, and all this other stuff. The reality of real estate is it is not that easy. And I'm telling you from experience that it's not that easy. Now, here's my point. Back to my original point. $1,200, you got a window. Your mortgage is $800. You're getting $1,200 in rent, right? Okay, cool. Sounds nice. Sounds wonderful. Let's just say you're heading up with a tenant that lose their job. And they can't afford to pay the rent no more, right? All right, so now you're not getting $1,200, but you still got to pay the $800. Now, it takes you let's say it takes you 3 months. And now in the city of Philadelphia, sometimes it takes longer than that because they don't care. So you done missed out on $1,200. I mean, you done missed out on $2,000 a month of rent because the person been in your property for 3 months. You ain't get nothing. But you still got to pay the $800 mortgage somehow, some way, right? And I'm not getting into all repairs, none of the other stuff. I'm just saying in general. Yes, Joyce, you're absolutely right. And I'm going to get into that part of it. I'm just saying in general, right? $800, $1,200 you're supposed to be getting now. The person been out of that property. Now you done lost 3 months rent because they ain't paid you. Finally, you get them out of the property. This is my point. You finally get them out. You still had to pay the $800. You paid that $800 mortgage every 3 months. Every month that you've been paying it. For the 3 months this person's been in, that haven't been paying you rent. So you already in the hole right then and there. Now, depending on how they left the property. This is the second thing that people don't take into account. Depending on how they left the property, now you got to go in there and probably have to make the property, spruce the property up to make it appealing so that you can re-rent it to someone else, hopefully. Right? So now that takes sometimes a month or two. But then if you don't do all the work yourself, which is meaning you're going to have to invest some sweat equity into it. But if you have to pay somebody to do it, now you got to pay them. Where that money going to come from? See, you see the hole that starts to happen. And this is why you can't, when these politicians start talking about going after landlords and stuff like that, this is the reason why cities and stuff like that get destructed, because most of these people that talk that stuff don't know what they're talking about. They ain't been in the business of real estate to know what they're talking about. And the person that's owning the property is consuming all the costs. And the person that's living there not paying the rent don't give a darn what happens to the person that earns it. But they want sympathy for the person that don't pay the rent, but don't have no sympathy for the person that owns the property and is actually trying to make a living for themselves too. They're not rich and wealthy. People think they are because they don't have they're not financially literate to understand how that works. So again, and like Joyce said, then you get to the point where you buy these programs. And then here's the thing. These programs that they sell out there, when y'all hear all these people that travel from city to city, oh, we're coming into your city. We're going to teach you how to make money in real estate. This is what they do. We're going to teach you how to make money in real estate. Come down to there. We got a big thing coming there. You get me. It's all free. Right? They'll invite 1,000 people to this program and teach you how to make money in real estate. That's what they're going to do. I'm going to tell you where the game is at. It's me. I went one time, and my thing is my mind always see the money and stuff. And I said, this is how they making the money. They not doing half of what they selling you. They selling you a dream. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to what they're saying. My eyes is looking around the room. Now, they invited 1,000 people. The place is full. Wow. And I'm looking at the people that's in there, and it's all the people that's in there, and I kid you not. Most of those people in there are average, everyday people that's trying to better their life. And they don't even realize what they're getting ready to walk into. So they got these programs that they trying to sell you. And I'm looking at easily 800 people. Maybe, let's just say, we're going to say 500 people sitting in the room. And I watched them work this room. And then when it was almost over, they had all these people up there and they're selling this program for $600 a head. Now they're trying to negotiate. And I said, man, if they was to just get 10% of the people in this room to purchase that, they're going to walk out of here with like 30 grand in one day. $30,000 in one day. And I looked at the math and I'm like, okay, yeah, they got to rent this room. And believe me when I tell you, when these people do this stuff, they already done did their homework. They rent a room, hotel space. I'm going to say they might have paid $2,000 to rent that space for the time that they rent. But when they come up out of that room, they walking out there with $30,000, $20,000, $30,000. And they do this for 2 or 3 days every time they go somewhere. Because the one thing these people know is there's a sucker born every day. And the vast majority of those people go in there. And in most cases it is. Sometimes but I'm just saying the ones that say, oh, it's free. And in a lot of cases, Joyce, you're right. They are charging to get in there, to cover door, to cover to get in the door, all that stuff. They walk away with $30,000, $40,000, sometimes more than that, depending on how well it went. These people use their credit cards to pay for these programs. They use their bank cards. They pay all this money for these programs. That's not going to work. Real estate is not that complicated. I never paid for them program. When I was sitting there, I was like, yeah, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do what they doing. I see all the money they make. And I was young at the time. I was in my 20s at the time. But I was like, yeah, nah, I didn't buy it. And thank God I didn't, because it wasn't worth the money. I didn't realize it. But at the time, I was in and trying to get into real estate myself, and I was trying to educate myself. But when I sat there and watched what they was doing, I said, oh, they killing it right here. And then I left, never purchased what they had to sell, which was cool. But I was just like, I realized I caught on real quick what they were doing. So, I left. And I remember having a conversation. What really struck my interest after the fact is when I was talking to a Jewish man, and he started really explaining to me about how to get into real estate, and what I really should do, and where I should go, and where I should look. And he wasn't trying to be what I would say racial about it, but he made a point, and he told me not to get in my feelings about it. And I didn't. I just had to kind of take on the chin what he said. And he said, if you want to make money in real estate, he said, go where the houses are cheap. And he said, and get them as cheap as you can. And he said, most of the houses that are cheap are in neighborhoods of people like you. And that's what he said. And he said, because and he said, no, honestly, those are the better properties and the better houses. He said, but they devalue them because of the people that live there. And he said, if you want to make a good profit margin off of it, he said, that's where you go. And I listened. I didn't get in my feelings. I listened to him. He was a Jewish man, had a nice house. He owned a lot of real estate. And he took a day out of his time. Believe me when I tell you, he didn't have to. He took a day out of his time, and he sat down and he talked to me. And I was like, all right, cool. And I listen. And this man was worth a lot of money. And I ain't going to lie to you, he did. When I sat down there, he had a whole office set up in his basement with basement, but he made a lot of money. As I'm sitting there, when the mailman came, that man was sitting there cutting open envelopes at the time, taking out checks, and he was, doing all he talking to me, telling me about the business, and I'm watching. I watched this man literally open easily $50,000 to $60,000, $70,000 in checks from tenants and real estate that he owned. Real estate that he owned. And then what he did was he turned around. His wife came downstairs after he done did all of his, documentations and stuff, adding everything in there, who paid what, blah, 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 blah. He handed the checks to his wife, and she took on and went on to the bank, I guess, to deposit the checks, whatever the case may be. I'll deposit all the checks. And I guess he come back and he was explaining to me like, what he does. He said, and if anything comes back that wasn't paid, he said, then I'll just go back and I'll, what wasn't paid, what wasn't that. He said, but I leave it in lingo. He said, I put it in there, but I leave it in lingo until it's actually, once the checks settle down, then I'll go back and I'll go say, okay, this one didn't go through, that one, this person's check bounced, whatever. I don't know. He had a lot going on in town. And you know what? There's a lot of them. It was a guy that I thought he was a slumlord too. Lived not too far, lived around, and a lot of his houses was not well taken care of. But a lot of time with slumlords like that, you end up with type of people that you only gonna be able to rent to a certain demographic of people, because people that get up and go to work and make good money never gonna want to live in your property anyway. So you're never gonna get the type of rent that you could get or the type of tenants you could get, because you choose to have rent and not really take care of your property. But anyway, and that was when I made my first move. And the property that I purchased at that time, when it was fully rented out, brought in almost $1,600 a month. And my cost to that property was a little over $200 a month, as far as like the real estate and stuff. I mean, as far as the cost of the mortgage and stuff, because I listened to him. And my real estate agent at the time was trying to get me to buy something more expensive in a nice neighborhood and all that. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And that was one of the best advices that someone has given me throughout my life. And I listened to him, and for that in that time period, it actually did well, because that property was able to take care of a lot of other things that because of the money that I owned. Because of the money that was coming in. I don't particularly care for the real estate game anymore unless I go somewhere where it's worth it. I'm very patient. If I was to get purchase property, I'm going to do it the way I know to do it, not the way people tell me I should do it, because I've already been in that game. I know how it works. And it's not an easy game at all. And it is. And you can make, like I said, you can make money, but it's not that simple. Like your mama good news. Now here's the thing. He said he used to flip houses, right? And he kept multiple units that he rent, and he flipped some singles, right? Which is cool. And you can make money. And I'm not saying you can't. But here's the thing with flipping houses. Another one that they don't tell you. If you don't flip it fast enough, and you got, let's say there's a piece of property that you got a loan on, or you got borrowed money that you're trying to flip this property on. If that don't go well, you can end up eating the cost of that and come out of there with nothing. And that's real talk. But again, you got to know that business. You got to know it, and you got to know it well, and you got to know how to buy. And never buy property based off of what somebody value it at. I never listen to something like when they go get the house appraised and say, oh, it's valued at that. I don't care what they say. You do not, no one else determines the value of something when it comes from me, except for me. I do that because that's just the process. That is not going to encourage me to buy. That is not a reason for me to buy a property because somebody tell me what the value of it is. I can care less what you say. I have to determine within myself rather it is worth the value once I assess all the costs involved with owning that property and possibly renting that property. That's when I determine rather it is or not. I never owned land. And if you own land and you don't have no way of making money off that land immediately, unless you plan on flipping and selling it at some point, I just don't I don't see money in making land. If I own some land, I gotta immediately find a way to make that land do some work. What's up out the pit? What's going on? God bless you, brother. Yeah, and see, that's smart. Your mama's good news. That's good, smart. And that's smart. That right there is smart the way to do it. And that's exactly what I was saying. Honestly, that's exactly what I said. And when you say if you had the capital, Leah, in Eastern Tennessee right now, what would be your reason for doing that? Like, what's going on in Eastern Tennessee that makes you want to do that? Deer leasing or something. Okay. But yeah, like I said, depending on how much land too. Like me, it depends on where the land at and where it depends on where the land is at too. Like if you got land somewhere and there's a wood area, like what Joyce said, and they allow hunting and stuff like that, you can kind of make some money off there. Because some people like to hunt, and it's an area where people like to hunt and they got deer and stuff like that. They travel and they legalize hunting, and somebody want to set up like like a hide or whatever for them to hunt, you can make a few dollars there. Now, if it's land and it's a extremely populated place, then I'm probably looking at try to find a way to actually make that land more useful. Like if you're not going to build anything, see if you can actually turn that land into something that you can do like a flea market with. You know what I mean? Like if it's dead land and it's a populated area, set up where people can come set up tables, pay a few dollars, and you know set up as far as doing like a flea market and stuff. So I don't see nothing wrong with the land, but understand anything that you obtain is going to have some costs involved for earning it. Because if you got the land and there's some land in place, you got to pay taxes, maintenance on the land. If it's somewhere where grass stuff grows, you're going to have to keep cutting the grass. There's going to be costs involved for earning that land. And if it's not bringing in no revenue, at that point, it's not an asset to you. It's a liability until it becomes an asset and where you're making money from. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and that's what you have to be patient with is not buying something too fast. We're gonna run a commercial. Um, and we're gonna be right back after we run the commercial. So hang in there, y'all. Give me a second. I cannot see my commercials. What in the world is going on here? Video. Whatever. Yeah, we're gonna run the commercial. We'll be right back. I'm not going nowhere. Hang in there.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you. No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
All right, yo, mama's good news. That's what's up. Go finish, start writing the book. Oh, that's what's up, man. Let us know how that worked out. Let us know what the book is about when you get a chance to. You know what I mean, so we can talk about it, especially when you get that thing published or whatever. We can help you get that thing out there and let people know what's going on with you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, okay, Leah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I listen. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I am all for it. You know what I mean, but I don't know, Lee, if you had a few minutes to jump in. If you wanted to, you still can. I can put the link in the chat. Identity crisis in America. Yeah, definitely, man. Once you get everything situated and you get that book out there, we'll definitely help you get spread the word about the book, and hopefully we can get people to buy it up. Definitely, come on the show and talk about what you're doing. On this show, I open my door in my show up for a lot of people to do things, especially if you're doing something business wise, making money or whatever. I open my show up for a lot of things. I have no problem with that. I'm sorry, y'all, give me back. No, it's okay. Ron, what got you started into YouTube to a YouTube channel? YouTube can be very profitable if you put the time in. Which are you? Which are you? Um, Honestly speaking, original. I had the channel for a long time. I just never did nothing with it. I just didn't do anything with it. what got me started in the YouTube is that I I used a lot of what I do on YouTube I do on a regular basis too. I talk about money, investing, real estate. I don't You're not a typical person have a conversation. If it ain't a productive conversation, I just don't have a conversation. It's rare for me to have a conversation that is not a productive conversation. So I'm not in like for me, I'm not interested. You know how you see a bunch of guys get together and they be like, oh, talk about all the girls they slept with and how many times they run the street. That is not a conversation for me. That's not a conversation that I love to participate. So it doesn't grasp my attention. Most of the time when you're around somebody like me, I have to have a productive conversation. If it ain't gonna be beneficial, rather than spiritual, which is my relationship with God, financial, which is the way I take care of myself, or internal, which is how, just trying to be a better person in general. It's rare for me to participate. I'm not saying I never participate in those conversations. What I'm saying is that it's rare for me to participate. Now, the other thing is just humor and joking around. If we laughing and joking and just having a general conversation, like joking around, that's me too. Like I'm not gonna sit there and say, "Oh, this I'm 100% this way." Nah, but um, I like to share information. I mean, I've been through a lot of things. I've been in the construction field. I know how to build houses, plumbing, remodeling. I did a lot of different things, and I'm always trying to. My dad was the same way. He might never mind teaching you something that he knew, and that's what made me triggered it. Now, as it relates to YouTube, um, the gun should when me and my son was actually supposed to do it, and um, my son knows how I am. I love my kids to death, but he know how I am. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to go do it, with or without you. I'm not. I don't wait for somebody to decide. When I decide, I go to work. So I don't worry about rather. Oh, can I do this? Nah, I'm not waiting for you to get ready. I'm not waiting for you to get your head together. You know what I mean? And so for me, and you know what, your mama got news. I'm just that way, man. Is this my thing? Is this, and I use simple logic in this, and I'm not trying to say don't have fun, enjoy yourself. Believe me when I tell you, I'm a happy person every single day. I am joyful, thankful to God, and I enjoy my life every single day. But the reason why I say that is that, and it's a simple philosophy is this: you only going to get out of life that you spend the most time in. And I'm telling you this. I sometimes I wish people would understand how simplistic life is. Really, you only going to get out of life the thing you spend the most time doing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You're only going to get out of life the thing you spend the most time doing. If I got up every morning and said I'm going to plant orange seeds, that's it. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm not sitting there and tell y'all this, but I'm gonna go get orange seeds and I'm gonna be planting orange seeds every chance I get. I'm gonna orange seeds, orange seeds, orange seeds. Then I'm gonna come back and do what I need to do to maintain those orange seeds and hope that they start to produce oranges, right? And I do this every single day of my life. I will probably have more oranges than anybody. Why? Because that's what I spend my day doing. So if you spend your day getting up every day, bull crap, hanging out with your friends, doing absolutely nothing, chitty chatty, laughing and joking, nothing productive, nothing that stimulates your mind to be innovative, nothing that stimulates your mind to be productive. And all you do is bull crap, laugh and joke and talk that stupid stuff. Guess what? Well, back in the day, you used to call it just shucking and jiving or whatever. I don't know. That's what you're going to end up with. That's your motivation. You don't realize how simplistic life is. It's really that simple. I'm not saying it's that easy. I'm saying it's that simple. But if you spend your life every day getting up, going to work, being productive, trying to find ways to make your money, to make money, and all this other stuff, eventually you're going to see the results of that. But if you don't, you get up every day and you don't do nothing from nothing, there's nothing. Yeah, and and a lot of time when you're young, you don't grasp what they're saying. When you talking to what they call older person or OG or something like that, and they trying to give you this type of information, what they're trying to do is give you a jump start in hopes that you start out early enough before you waste too much time doing absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this: is that you're only gonna get out of life the thing that you put the most time in. You know what I mean? So when somebody says to me, if you know, like, and I use different people like Elon Musk. He spent every day of his life 20 hours a day developing Tesla. That's what he spent his life doing. When he decided what he was going to do, he spent time doing it. Now we have Teslas everywhere. Why? Because that's what he spent his time doing. He wanted to build a corporation, a business, sell electric cars. Everybody that has ever done something like that put time, effort into, and then now you see the result of what they put their time and effort in. Now he's not the only one that has a Tesla. People are buying them everywhere. To the point where he's not the one building them. He got people, a team of people that's building them. But he spent his time and his effort building a company to make these type of cars. And now that you have, same thing with Ford Motor Company, same thing with everything. A farmer, when he goes out there and farming, he's planting whatever seeds that he is the intent is to grow crop that he can sell to the market. And I don't understand. Listen, that is the most simplistic way you can see it. And if you want to make money in this world, if you want to better your life financially, if you get up every day and you wasting your time doing dumb stuff, doing silly stuff every time, and there is nothing productive coming out of you, this is the result of that. That's the result of that. So that's why I say when people get mad at me when I start saying I have very little sympathy for lazy people. That's why I have sympathy for lazy people. And I agree. Listen, I agree, Elon Musk. I don't know if he's a smart guy. He learned something from when. And I agree with you. Listen, I agree 100%. Here's the thing with me is that I'm up 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes a little sooner, but around 4 o'clock in the morning is when I'm up, right? And I'm very little watch television. I'm up 4 o'clock in the morning, getting ready, work. Kid you not. Getting ready to go to work. Most people are still asleep. Then I'm doing, and at the same time, I'm on the stock market in the whole process, working my stock market, working my job. When I'm done with that, then I come home. Then I'm on YouTube and I'm still working my stock market right now, and it's in my face, and I'm watching everything that's going on with that. And I'm still working. And then after that, I'm still working. And then I go back to work again, and I'm still working. And then when I come back home, I'm still working my YouTube page, and I'm bringing other things. I'm trying to do different shows and stuff with my YouTube page. Still working. My day probably don't end until it doesn't slow down until maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30. And that's why when people say, "Man, you always at bed early," nah, man, I'm burnt. I done used up all, and that's pretty much my day. So if you think about that, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going, and it just continue on from there. By the time it's all said and done, I'm shutting down about 7, 8 o'clock, depending on what's going on. So that's my day in a nutshell. And so my day is always like that. I mean, and I don't have, and if and everything that I'm doing is a way for me to make money. Everything that I'm doing. Now in the real estate, my older son is dealing with that. I mean, and he's in the beginning stages of learning it, and whatever the case may be. But again, I'm constantly from 4 o'clock and roughly around 4 o'clock in the morning to throughout the day, and that's how I live my life. And I be happy, enjoying for doing every day. That's how I live my life. And that's why I say it. You're only gonna get out of life what you put into it. And if you waste it, you get up every morning, you're wasting your time, that's what you're gonna get. And now listen, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you rich. I'm not rich. I'm doing okay. I'm doing on the path of trying to be. That's it. But I'm doing all right. And every day gets a little bit better. Every day gets a little bit better. And as long as I stay consistent, that's it. And my hope is that people that know me personally, my children and everything else that around me, they always see me this way and they always see me working. But hopefully that they grab some of this and somebody on my YouTube channel grab some of this, especially if they're younger and they really getting started. They grab some of this and they actually run with it. And if it helps anybody in any type of way, which is my biggest passion, then it was all worth it. Not just for myself, because it ain't even about me so much all the time. But if anything that I do and all that I'm doing helps someone outside of myself, rather it's help improve their relationship with God, rather they give their life to Christ, rather they learn how to become better financially, rather they become more financially literate, rather they decide I want to go into real estate, I'm a little more educated, I understand what I'm getting myself into. Anything of that nature, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? I'm good with it. Even as it relates to doing YouTube and stuff like that, because there's some people that started out doing YouTube, and I try to give them I'm not the only person. There's a lot of people doing YouTube, but I try to give them some type of insight of what I'm doing, and as far as that go, and hopefully that helps them too. But are you married? Nope, not married. Was not married. I'm with somebody, but just not married. But I gotta get ready to get out of here. Every single one of y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I gotta go. Hopefully y'all having a blessed time. I appreciate y'all on there. Your mama, go make that money. Your mama, good news, go make that money, because I know you out there. Go put in that work. Don't be sidetracked by me. Go make that money. But y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I gotta get up out of here. I got things I got to do myself. Appreciate y'all hanging in there, making sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure y'all take advantage of that 15% discount on all your purchases of top to bottom organics. The link to the store is right here on the chat. If you spend $35 or more, you definitely will get a 15% discount if you use the OG Network. That's OG Network 26. OG Network 26. If you buy anything from top to bottom hair and skincare products, and make body wash and everything else. Matter of fact, my order just got here today. I got to go open that up and put stuff away at some point. But you get a 15% discount on all your purchases. Just so y'all know that they're an American-made company. They're right here in this country. And understanding that anything that y'all purchase from that company, it also helps to support the channel right here, OG Network. Ron's opinion don't matter. Whenever you buy something there and you use that promo code, that also helps support my channel, because we're, they're a partnership with me. We partnered together and we're doing a lot of different things. And they, like I said, I love their product. They make great product. I use their product all the time. I got body wash, hair care products, skincare products. They get a lot of stuff from it. But they also, whenever someone uses the OG Network, which is OG Network 26, they get a 15% discount on all your purchases of $35 and up. But it also helps to support the channel and what we're doing over here. And with that said, I appreciate everything one of y'all. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. Peace.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.